Please, I didn't meeting. We are going to work. Can you hear me? Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Good afternoon. Welcome to everyone. We'll be starting in, actually, it's time to start. Okay. Good. Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you all perfectly.
So, how is the weekend?
It is great, great, great.
Perfect. This is Abdul Kuma
Okay.
from Sierra Leone. I know you are seeing the name.
Yes, yes, I can see the name. So welcome to the training. Please leave your email in the chat box. We will be very, very happy to connect with you later.
Okay.
Yes. If you just joined, just put your email in the chat box. We happy to connect with you later on this.
I will do that.
Thank you. So we are waiting for others to join, but while waiting, I'll try to share the presentation so that we can
Okay. Okay. No
where we're
problem.
going to. Okay. So we are waiting for others to join.
No problem. No problem.
Share. I have my Gmail here. People are unable to join the meeting. I see people are joining, others are unable. I just want to share the link real quick. Okay, I just want to share the link. Okay, somebody did share the link. Okay, somebody share the link. Please, for those that could join the meeting, can you share the link in the various groups so that others can join? People are having trouble joining with your link. Okay, trying to forward the link for others to join. Okay, others are joining. Welcome to everyone. Please leave your email in the chat box so that we can connect with you later. So thank you for everybody that is joining this training. I'll start by presenting myself. I think we are going to start while the others are still trying to join. Let me just share the link in all the group. Okay, other people are finally able to join me. Let me send it. So please, if you're just joining, we invite you to write your email in the chat box so that we can connect later with you later before we start the meeting. Okay, almost done. Thank you for joining. If you just joined, please can you send your email in the chat box so that we can connect with you later. We'll be starting in 3 minutes at exactly 11:10 a.m. here in the US. Please leave your email in the chat box before we start the training. And please, if you know somebody that has to be in this meeting and is not yet there, please share massively. This is a very important training and we would like everybody to be here. And I understand that some people in the chat speak English. Sorry, speak French. Sorry, the training will be in English, but you're welcome to stay so that we can go on with the training. I do speak French, but this training for purpose, a lot of countries do speak English, so the training will be in English. But thank you. If you just joined, please send your email in the chat box. While we're waiting, can we start presenting ourselves? If you join, can you just take like 3 minutes or 1 minute to say, I am this, I am from this country. So I will start with myself. I am Susie Trezor, the CEO of ICODE Expo Global. I am
Susie, I have a question, please.
Yes.
If two people are living within the same community, can they share the same machine for this meeting?
Yes, of course. Yes, of course.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you. So as I was saying, like while we're waiting, we should present ourselves. So I'll start. I am Susie Trezor Tinelene. I am CEO and founder of ICODE Expo, based in the US. So anybody can start. Can Abdul, Mr. Abdul, can you start?
This is Abdul Kruma. I apply for Deputy District Coordinator from Sierra Leone.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Abdul. Who is beside you? Can he present himself?
Pardon?
The person beside you, can he present himself?
Yeah.
My name is Umar Auna.
Oh, nice to meet you, Mr. Umar.
Yes, I put in for Children Coordinator.
Yes, I received the names. We still have to do the appointment. So we are working on that. Thank you so much. So we have Mr. Andy Umana. Mr. Andy, please, can you unmute yourself and can you unmute and present yourself? You're just doing it while others are still trying to join.
Moro,
Yeah.
Aruna.
Yeah.
Mr. Andy.
Amen.
Small A.
So Mr. Andy has maybe internet issues.
A-R-U-N-A.
Mr. Christian
Aruna.
Hamuli.
Moro. U-M-O.
Mr. Hamuli, you're muted. Can you unmute yourself, please?
I said that I'm Mr. Hamuli Mungwakonkwa Christian. I'm country coordinator of AgriCode DRC.
Thank you, Mr. Hamuli. By the way, Mr. Hamuli is doing an amazing job in RDC. Like, I can't even talk about it. You have to go to RDC ICODE Expo LinkedIn page. You only see the wonders he's doing in RDC. So we'll not expand on it.
Thank you, madam.
You're welcome. Thank you, Mr. Christian. I see Mr. Fabrice Arnold. Mr. Fabrice, please, can you present yourself? You can unmute yourself. Mr. Fabrice, yes?
Yes. Bonsoir à tous. Est-ce que vous m'entendez? Vous m'écoutez?
Oui, on vous écoute.
Oui.
Oui, bonsoir à tous. Moi, c'est Balen Fabrice Arnold, co-coordonnateur au Cameroun. Je suis très ravi de participer à cette formation. Je vous remercie.
Thank you, Mr. Fabrice, for your presentation. Mr. Fabrice just said he's the co-country coordinator of ICODE Expo Cameroon, and he's happy to be here. Thank you, Mr. Fabrice.
Thank
So
you.
without waste...
I think I have an observation, please.
Yes, Mr. Moses?
Yes, thank you so much. If all could go like this, I think by the time we have finished introducing ourselves, then the time has gone. So I don't know if how we can do that. If you can use seconds than minutes.
Yes, I'm about to actually start the training. We are not going to wait for others. The training is actually live on YouTube. So if any other person wants to follow and couldn't and miss the training, he can definitely. I'll share the YouTube link in the various group. If you are not yet in the group, please leave your email so that we can connect with you later. I'll share the link of the YouTube training into various groups. So we're just presenting ourselves while waiting for others to join. But we are not going to wait forever. The first come should be the first serve. So we are going with what we have. Thank you so much. First of all, I want to start by welcoming you all on board. I see a lot of people are really happy to be in this training, and I'm very happy to have you all in this training. So the training of today, now that everybody has joined, I can present myself. I'm Susie Tresor Chinelini, CEO and founder of iCode Expo, and we are very, very thrilled and happy to have you all as part of a family to this wonderful training. So I will start the training of today. The training of today is about Seed to Summit, how small beginnings shapes extraordinary leaders. A lot of people may ask, why did I choose this term? I choose this term because it is very important to know how you can put your ideas out there as great leaders as you are. What you have to learn how to practice is, how can I put my idea out there without the funding? Because most of the time we are waiting for, oh, there's no money, so the idea can be put out there. Or there's no means, I need funding for this, I need funding for that, for my idea to even go somewhere. So now with this training, we are here to be able to break that mindset and teach and edify ourselves on how even that smallest idea can be able to grow to a wonderful tree, to a wonderful, great idea if you just put it out there. So, is everybody seeing my PowerPoint presentation?
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you. So the first thing we have to start when we are talking about an extraordinary leader, or what is extraordinary leadership, is we have first of all to define what is an extraordinary leader. This is very important to define because this will help us guide our training. So I took this definition from Coase and Funes. This is actually a paper I read, and I really love the definition of an extraordinary leader, and I wanted to share with you. So according to Coase and Posner, an extraordinary leader are those who model the way, inspire a shared vision, challenge the process, enable others to act, and encourage the heart. Very important. I really want to repeat on that, is that a leader, an extraordinary leaders are those who model the way, that's being a model, inspire a shared vision, challenge the process, and enable others to act and encourage the heart is very important. And this quality helps them to not only lead effectively, but also to cultivate leadership in others, creating the ripple effect of positive change. This definition, I really love this definition because it helps to capture all the properties of an extraordinary leader. And as an extraordinary leader, how do you become that extraordinary leader? With this definition, we see the work path towards that excellence. That is why I took this definition. And it's also very important to know that an extraordinary leader is someone who goes beyond the standard of expectation of leadership, that demonstrate exceptional vision and integrity. Is very important to have integrity when you're rising in the ladder of leadership. It is very, very important to have integrity. And you have the ability to inspire and empower. Very important to inspire and empower others to achieve a shared goal. So you come with a little vision, and as an extraordinary leader, you have the ability to inspire and empower others to carry that same vision and that same goal. So this type of leadership is characterized by what I call deep commitment. You must be committed to personal growth. You must have the willing to grow, and make sure you have ethical standard. Make sure you stand on your ethical standard. It is very important, because if at the little beginning you are unable to stand on it, you won't be able to go far. And I'm just giving you an overview of a characteristic of an extraordinary leader. We'll go in depth to tell you how to go towards that path, how to become that extraordinary leader. An extraordinary leader must also be somebody that can easily collaborate with others, because once you have the vision, the next step is to be able to share your vision with others. So collaboration is very important, and and you must be able to transmit your passion and your vision to others, which is very important. And you must always leave a lasting positive impact on your community or organization. When people look at you, you must be like the role model people should follow when it comes to leadership. So now that we understood what an extraordinary leader is and what is a characteristic of an extraordinary leader, the next step is, for this training, I decided to use my favorite fruit, a mango tree, to represent the Seed to Summit training. The mango tree literally represents my life, so I really wanted to present it. The mango tree is a very, very, very strange and mysterious tree. So as we can see from the mango tree did not just become a mango tree. It started by what we call a dormant seed. So what is a dormant? When you get the mango, you eat the mango, the seed is inside the shell. So once you open the shell and you get the seed, that seed is called a dormant seed. It is exactly like your idea. It is exactly like your idea. It's just small, dormant. Only you don't even know if a tree can come out of such a little thing. But you have that idea in hand. This is the first idea you have. And the idea is usually not clear because you're like, it's just a seed. It looks like nothing for now. And then you have the next step, like my mango tree, you have to plant that seed. Planting the seed is very important. When you plant the seed, only you can know where the seed is planted. And we'll go in depth to talk about every of these steps. So I'm just giving a general overview. So once you plant the seed, you have to water the seed and wait for the seed to grow. It can take longer than expected to grow, but you must first of all take that leap of faith and plant the seed. Very important. So once you plant the seed and the stems start coming out of the seed, the next step is you have what we call the bud burst. This is when it starts like betting different kind of stem from the mango tree. And once after that is different kind of ideas start coming from that little idea that you got, the little idea becomes broader and broader, start increasing more and more. And then we have and then from there we go to the green cluster. This is when you start building leaf, the tree start growing and start building leaves. And then we go to the bluster, and then we go to the fruit set. Why am I showing you this? The reason I'm showing you this is for you to understand that as the seed, that is your idea. For it to grow, it needs to follow a process. It is very important. A lot of people want to join the process and just leave from the dormant seeds directly to the fruit tree. It doesn't work like this, and it will never work like this as long as we are on the planet Earth. Everything, every idea you get is a process. The path to an extraordinary leader is a process. So this mango tree growth stage represent the process I want to talk about during this training. And so the next thing we are going to talk about is how does this mango tree itself links, how is it linked to the leadership growth? So first of all, the mango tree is a symbol of growth and leadership. Why do I say that? Because imagine the mighty mango tree, the mighty one with fruit, like the very big mango tree with all its strength. But as magnificent tree do not always stand so tall. That is what I want to say. So when you look at the mango tree, it is magnificent. It is great. Oh, look at this tree here on this picture. You see all this fruit. It is so beautiful. It did not start like this. It started with a seed. That is what I want. It started with the seed. That's the same thing as a leader. The seed is much like an idea or a dream you carry within you, held within the potential of greatness. That little seed or dream has the potential of being great. though it's not yet visible to the world, you're the only one that can see it. And then we go to the seed. That is the beginning of your journey. That seed, that idea that is already birthed, that's the beginning of your journey. And in the same way, the mango tree journey begins with like the seed. Every leader's journey starts with an idea, a small, often unclear notion of that may be birthed doing, maybe when you are working at a place, you got an idea to solve a problem. That is your seed in this case. And this idea is like the seed of a mango tree. It's the same thing. It requires faith, patience, and care to be able to grow that idea, same as a mango seed. And at this stage, the idea may be like very fragile, like the mango seeds. And if you notice, if you have ever grown mango as a farmer, which I know most people here are farmers, if you have ever grown mango as a farmer, you will notice that the mango grows under the shade. Is the seed of the mango grows under the shade. It's the same thing as your idea. Once you bet your idea, it is still very fragile to be exposed to the direct sunlight because it can destroy it. So it goes under the shade. That means you're working on it in the private in your private time. You're working on the idea, which is very important. The next step you have to do as a tree, as I said, the mango tree process, growth process is a very important process, because once you have planted the seed, the next step is to be able to nurture the seed, that is water the seed every day, like a diligent gardener gets every morning to water his garden. You too, every day you must be able to nurture your idea by starting with understanding how can this idea be implemented, who implemented this idea before, because the truth is nothing is new under the sun. That is very important. That means the idea you have, somebody surely had it in another country or in another place and has already been implemented. So you now is your term. This is the time for you to make research on how the process work and how you can be able to duplicate that idea or even give a better version of that idea in your own a better version of the idea of the person in your own domain. That is where comes the importance of having a mentor. At this stage, this is the very importance of having a mentor. I will still go back to my mango tree. Like I really love mango, so I will go back to my mango tree. Like the mango tree, I've learned by looking at videos. I watch a lot of videos about growing mango, and there's one thing I learned, something called grafting. Is when you see a tree that is producing good mango fruit, you get a branch from that tree and you join it to the stem of your mango tree, because it helps predict the future of that mango. That's the same thing when you get an idea. The next step you have to do once you are working on or defining the clear terms of your idea is to look for somebody that duplicates what you want to see, a leader that actually portrays what you want, and learn from that person to be able to replicate the same thing in your own domain or idea. And then there is also the idea of seeing beyond the present. It is very, very important. Why do I say that? Because when you look at the mango seed, it looks like you're never going to get fruit from it. It takes time. After 3 years, the mango tree goes into a flowering stage. It doesn't look like the mighty strong mango. It doesn't produce mangoes after 3 years. The fastest production of mango is the fastest is after 5 years. So after 3 years, you cannot still see the fruit of your work, but you have to be able to see beyond that. If you have an idea that you wanted it to go to nation, you must always see the nations inside that seed. That is the power of it, because what you see definitely is what will come to pass. If you only see that vision in the room in which you are, that is exactly where that vision will stay. But if you're able to see the nations while you're working with that vision will definitely go into the nation. And after that, the next step is to be able to, once you are the tree and the tree is getting the roots, then you have various stems, various branches. That is your idea flowering and taking different breed. So I explained the metaphor of a mango tree, but I want to go into details to explain to you how can you take that seed what I explained is very nice. It's very the steps is very good. But in this training, I want you to be able to understand how I can take my idea as a seed to that summit. What are the different processes I have to go through? Because I said it at the beginning, it is a process. A process. You must go through the process. Because if you jump the steps, it will catch up to you in the future. There are each of these steps you need to be able to go through. So now I'm going to tell you how can you take that idea back, that idea to this mighty fruit. For this, in this training, this training is divided into four precise parts. The first part is the seed. That is your idea. The idea that people cannot see, that idea, that's the first part of the training. Is how can you even get that idea? That's the first part. The second part is time. How do you invest yourself? How to invest yourself in that idea to be able to, how to be that diligent, like the road of consistency and the habit of growth. You can invest in your idea to make it grow. And the third part of the training will be on season. As I said, it's a process. So you must understand which season you are in your process. If you have already started the process, then understand I am in this season of my process. I'll be going to next to this season and this season. And then the next step we'll be talking about is the glory. What happened at the moment of reconnection? Is it the endpoint, or how can I expand and how can I grow more? So that is what we'll be talking about in this training. And at the end of the training, I would love to have questions. If you have any questions, write it down now, and we'll be very happy to answer the question later. And somebody asked if the resources will be shared. Yes, I will share the PowerPoint with you all at the end of the training. That's why I'm asking you to leave your emails so that I can know who took part to the training, and even because we are awarding certificate at the end of the training. So please leave your email. That will help us to show us that you took part to this training. So the first part of this training, that is the most important part of the training, is the seed. And I named it ideas that people cannot yet see. It is very important because once you have the idea, it's still in your head. Nobody can see it. Nobody apart from you. You are like the mango. When you eat the mango, exactly like this seed, you have to knock the shell and remove the seed out of the shell. At this moment, you are just the shell with the seed still inside. That is, your idea is still in your head. And before we start, I want to give us we should start by defining what is a seed. As I said, in a natural world, a mango tree with its abundant fruit and broad, sheltered branches, all begins with something as small and seemingly insignificant as a seed. This seed is often hidden beneath the soil, out of the sight and overlooked by many, similar to your idea. This is just to come back to your idea, similar to your idea, which is small and often unclear from the beginning. You're not sure of what you want to do. For example, I'll take an example of me when I wanted to start iCode Expo. It started, I was like in my room and I was like, okay, I want to do this great thing. It did not make sense at the beginning. It did not even start with iCode Expo at the beginning. We started with Code Expo. I remember I started with Code Expo. I started training youths in high school. I never thought of iCode Expo, but it started with that seed. Like the idea was the idea that I had is like, okay, I want to train youth in technology. That was an idea. This is the part of the seed. Like you get the idea. But once you get the idea and you know what the seed is, there's a next step you have to take. So we have here, I can say we have the seed here, and the idea is generally not understood by others. Nobody believes in you at that point. You are the only one that knows what you want to do. You are the only one that knows where you're going to. Some people expect their family to understand or the neighbors to understand. No, nobody's in your head. Don't expect them to understand at all. It is your project. It is still in your head. As long as it's still in your head, nothing will ever happen to it. So, or maybe somebody will implement it before you. So once the idea is in your head, a lot of people, what they do is they go and talk about it everywhere. They talk about it everywhere. They talk about it. I'm like, you have to put action. So the next thing, once you have the idea, the next thing you have to do with your idea is planting the seed. Planting the seed, like the mango tree. If you keep the seed of the mango tree in your hand, the seed will die. Do you know that? It's the same thing as your idea. If you keep your ideas in your head for long, the idea will die and go. If you just keep it in your head, you'll be like, it's been 10 years. I had this idea 10 years ago, and you see somebody implementing the idea already for you. So the next step, once I have an idea, if you you get to work with me, you know that once I have an idea, the next thing is that I will plant the seed immediately, because I always says I want to die empty. Nothing left in me that I'm hiding or planning. I'm giving everything. If I have an idea, the once I have the idea, I write it down and I plant the seed. That is what action. I start taking commitment towards the accomplishment of my idea. Generally, what I do, because I'm a designer too, so what I do, I start by doing the logo. I'm like, what do I see? What is the vision? What do I see? That's the same thing like an idea. You might not maybe start by doing the logo. You might start by writing the description of your idea, because we think differently and we do things differently. It's like the same thing as a mango tree. They have so many different species of mango tree, and there are so many ways of growing this mango trees. But the seed, as I said, the seed, very important. Once I have the seed, I start planting my seed under the ground. That is, start taking action towards the accomplishment of that vision that I saw, because it's still an idea, it's still a vision in my brain. And it's very important. Once you're starting to take a step towards the vision, the first thing you need to have is something I call courage. If you don't have courage, first of all, this meeting is not for you. If you don't have courage, some people, they don't have courage. You just stay in your house and then, okay, to eat your how can I say, your to eat your one bowl of rice per day, and you're just fine. You can just pay your rent and you're good. If that's what you want, this meeting is not for you. What we want to be able to do, to produce, we want to be able to produce leaders that will keep able to take their vision to the world. These leaders, because in every human being, first of all, in every person, there is a leader. But that leader is dormant as long as you don't activate it. So when you plant the seed, you must go with that courage of, I believe in my vision. First of all, you must believe in your vision. Don't expect other people to believe in it for you. The first step while you're planting, I'm going with courage. I believe in what I'm doing. I believe in it, even though it's just an idea. For example, I started with an idea of Code Expo. Even though it was just an idea, I believed in it. I started doing logo, because I always start with a logo when I have an idea. That is me, because I want to see the vision. That's me. But other people, they start by writing it down. I start by doing my logo. So I start with the logo. That is me planting the step, taking the step of faith was my idea. And then I always put the logo as my screen lock. If you see my phone, my logo most of the time is still, like, if you look at my phone for now, my logo is still the Code Expo. So first of all, what I do is, like, I take the logo and I put it in the place I can see every day, every time, so that I become one with my vision. I become one with my idea. I know I'm always on my phone, so the logo is always there. So each time I on my phone, this is what I see, my vision. This pushes me to take more steps. I become courageous. I'm like, okay, I want to now pursue go to implement the idea in a school. Then I start writing. This is the training I want to do in this school. I start small. It always starts with a seed. Always start small. You always have. This is why I put this little shoot of stem here. It always starts small, very fragile but small. That idea of you going to school, for example, if you're doing Code Expo like me, like a mango tree, I decided to go to school to train the youth. I didn't have a big vision of the fact that my idea could expand. But the little steps, very important, the little steps. And so the next steps, after you take the little step, is not enough. So after I went to train in the high school, it wasn't enough. Like the mango tree, we have the shoot. It's not enough. We need to let it grow by what? Watering more. Continue taking the step. That is what we call nurturing the seed. You need to be able to nurture your seed. That is the first thing for nurturing seed. It includes seeking knowledge. Once you plant your mango and you see the shoot, it's not enough that your mango will become. This doesn't mean this shoot is gonna bear mangoes at all. The fact that you see the stem doesn't mean that it's gonna bear mango in its lifetime. The first of all, the next thing you have to do once you have planted the first seed, is to be able to seek for knowledge. Who did this idea before and how did it go about? Because my idea is I don't want to make an error that I could avoid to save time. If I can save time on my idea, I'm going to make the research. So if you want to be a great leader, for example, and you want to do public speaking, once you have the idea, that's the idea. You plant the seed by start talking to your family. Start doing like a little presentation, but to your own family. That's the planting the seed. But the next step, you must seek for information. How do public speakers, how do they do to become public speakers? What is the knowledge I need to acquire regarding this idea? Very important. The second thing to nurture your idea, you must surround yourself with supportive people. I will say this again. You must surround yourself with supportive people. Surround yourself with people that can support your ideas. It is very important. Because at this stage, your idea is like this stem, this mango stem. I really love the mango tree. I'll always take example on it. It's like this mango stem, very fragile. Drought. If it rains, drought can wash it away. If the wind is too hard, the wind can wash it away. If the sun is too hard, everything at this stage can destroy your vision. It is very important to start surrounding. It's like, okay, who is a visionary person around me? Let me start surrounding myself, because the people you surround yourself define your personality, define yourself, define who you are. So you start surrounding yourself. Okay, I know this one person that is a very good visionary person. Or maybe, okay, I know this person he's a leader I want to represent. Even if it's voluntary, I volunteer for a lot of NGOs and I work with a lot of NGOs. So that gave me an idea to start surrounding myself with big-minded people that think great. They think nations. I do not, at that stage, I did not think nations. I thought of my daily bread. But because I started surrounding myself with people that think nations, I started thinking nations. That is very important. Start surround yourself. If you don't have those people around you, start listening to videos of people that think nation. For example, I listen to Dr. Miles Monroe. It may be a way out. You start listening to people like this, people that represent your future. You start listening to them, because the more you listen to something, the more it becomes you. So that's very important. Surround yourself with supportive people. And the next step of nurturing yourself after you're surrounding yourself with supportive people is being open to learn and adapt. Why do I say that? That is very important. That's a very important point. Because a lot of people, they have the ideas and they say, okay, I only want to do this idea this way, the way I thought, the way I implemented. No. Most of the time, the process you put down is not the process that will happen. That is the truth. I have to tell you the truth, because I'm here because I want you to become a leader. So I have to tell you the truth. You write down the ideas. It's okay. It will go to this country first and then it go to this country. It's not about writing down the ideas. Once writing the idea is very good, but you must be open yourself to learning. Open yourself to learning. Open yourself to understand, to be able to adapt to the different stage that will come. For example, as a mango tree, you may be in an environment where there's a lot of drought. That will wash away your ideas. But because you're adaptive person, you start building a fence around. You say, okay, this is my stem. I have to start building a fence around to protect it from drought. I have to put it on a ridge so that when the drought passes, to put it on a ridge so that when the drought passes, it should not destroy my idea. See, you start being adaptive, adapt your idea according to adapt yourself or be open to learn according to the environment in which you are. I did not say become like the environment in which you are. I say adapt yourself to be able to expand and learn more. And if you're in the environment you don't like, create your own environment. Very important. By doing what is the same previous step, by listening to like-minded people that represent your future. And after you have opened your mind to learning and knowing that there is a different way of doing certain things. There's always a different way. That might be a better way or a worse way, but there's always a different way. Just the fact that you're open-minded to the fact that, okay, somebody else can ameliorate my idea. Okay, I'm ready to sit and learn. As a baby, ready to I don't know anything, I want to learn, and that's all. That's why I'm here. Very important. That will help you. And the next step after you have opened yourself to that is to be able to protect your idea. Why do I say protect your idea? Because early on an idea, once you just had an idea and it's still this fragile, if you don't protect it at that stage, it will be destroyed. Same as the seed of a mango, same as the seed of the mango tree. Same as the seed of the mango tree. If you don't protect that seed from destruction of maybe the sun, the rain, because once you plant the seed, there's always rainy season, dry season. For us, there is winter, there is spring, where you see snow and all. You have to be able to protect. That is why we go at the early stage of growth of a mango tree. We put it in a greenhouse. We don't expose it. We put it in the greenhouse to protect the idea. Protect the idea first of all. Same thing as your idea. Once you have an idea, restrain yourself from negative impact, please. It's very important, because you will always have, let it be your mentor, those people you're following. Sometimes when you meet your greatest admirer, he can kill your idea. I will tell you the truth, the person can kill your idea. So the thing you have to stand firm on your idea and protect it. You say, this is an idea I want. If you want to be a president, this is an idea I want. I am working myself towards that presidentship. I want to be ready when the opportunity comes. That is you protecting your idea, protecting the seed. The seed requires protection from harsh weather and predators. It's very important. Same as your idea, it needs to be protected, it needs to be kept very, very under the shade. In a warehouse, in a greenhouse, it needs to be there, protected. So once you do that, those are the steps you use to be able to nurture your seeds. So what can I say in summary for the seeds as the foundation of leadership? The thing we learned is that the first thing you need to know for the seed ideas people cannot see is you have to get the idea. Once you get the idea, that is your seed, you have to be able to plant your seed that is taking steps of faith towards the accomplishment of your idea. And the next step you have to do is to be able to nurture your seed. And why nurturing your seed, we talked about 4 different aspects. The first aspect we talked about is seeking knowledge. Then we talked about surrounding yourself with supportive people that can help carry your idea or your vision. The next step we talk about is being open to learning and ready to adapt to different situations, to different environment according to your need. And the fourth step we talked about is protecting your idea from negative impact. Like the seed needs to be protected from harsh weather and unpredicted natural disasters. So you always have to protect your ideas. So that is a summary of the first steps we just studied. That is the seed. Now, once I have the idea and I've protected it and I've gone to carry the knowledge I need, and I've nurtured my idea by learning and keeping myself open to adapt, the next step, and you will see that the more we talk about it, you see how these steps are interrelated. They are all related. You don't have to finish one step to go to the other, but you have to start from one step. The steps are, you have to go step by step from step 1 to step 2 to step 3 to step 4, but the steps are interrelated. You can, once you go, you start every step, you can be able to go back and forth from each step, back and forth for each step, trying to adapt. So the second step we need to know is time, the role of consistent habit and growth, because it, like the mango tree, my favorite fruit, like the mango tree, if you don't water it, if the mango tree is in your greenhouse and you don't water it every day, it will die. It would die. It would die, even though you're staying back and trying to learn more about your ideas and all this. If you don't take step of faith every day, it's gonna die. That idea is gonna die, even though you're loaded with ideas and you're loaded with knowledge. But if you don't, very important, take those steps every day, one step towards the accomplishment of my vision. So then, during this time, what we are going to talk about is the passage of time. the natural process of growth is very important. There's a natural process, and I talk about it. Just like the mango tree requires time to grow, so does ideas. Your idea require time to grow. Most of the time, you have to open yourself to the fact that the first idea you have is not the best idea, is not the best of it. The first idea you have is not the best of it. I always take example from my own life. Code Expo was not the best of Code Expo was not the best of the project. Code Expo wasn't the best of the project. It started with Code Expo, my seed. You see, I followed the first step. Now in the second step, I keep watering the seed. As more as I keep watering the seed, new ideas start shooting, just like a mango tree when it starts shooting new heads, like new heads when you have the stem and then the mango tree starts shooting new heads. Same as your idea. Your idea, how can I say, mutate to a different version. But you have to keep feeding it. You have to, especially the fact of being patient with it, because sometimes we look at the idea, we look at the seed, and it looks like nothing, like the mango tree. After 365 days, the mango tree still looks like a stem. Sometimes you'll be like, I'm tired of feeding this idea. No, keep feeding the idea, because the more you feed the idea, the more clarification you have about it. Then it goes to what I call the mutation stage. But it can only reach that stage because of patience. It doesn't happen overnight. As I said, I started with Code Expo, with Code Expo. And then with time, why planting my why I keep watering my seed with the right amount of water. I'm not watering too much. I'm watering my seeds with the right amount of work. I take every step every day. Then now a mutation happens because of my patience. Time is necessary for idea to develop root. It is necessary and it is important and it is needed, or else it will be washed away. You need your idea to get strength, so it needs time. You working on it, you developing yourself towards that idea. And so once you invest yourself through this passage of time, what comes next is mutation. I'll start with me. Code Expo becomes Agri Code Expo. Start seeing another perspective of it. And you're like, wow, Agri Code Expo, that is amazing. How can these two visions work together? Because you're taking your vision, your little vision is mutating to a bigger vision, and you're like, okay, how can I keep working towards it? There came the first idea of iCode Expo, that is youth coding workshop. That came from Code Expo. That was the main idea of Code Expo. So it came to integrate into the mutation of the idea, and then from there you still keep watering. You make sure you still keep watering the seed, because consistent effort, like watering and caring for a seed, is crucial for growth. Be consistent, just like a gardener goes every day outside. You're starting building it as a habit to water his garden. The same thing as you go every day, even if it's 10 minutes. It should not be much. It should be maybe 10 minutes a day. You say 10 minutes a day, I am working on my idea. Just 10 minutes a day. And the more you do it, the more it becomes part of you. Because I cannot stay one day without working on Agri-Code Expo. I feel like I'm sick. I need to do something, because that is part of me. It has become a habit in my life. It's part of me. So you always see me working towards it every day. Even if I'm silent, I'm still working, because that vision has become part of my being. That is what consistency helps in. That it makes the vision to become part of you, part of your character. And that is where the vision will never die. So once the vision becomes part of you, there is no way nobody can be able to switch off the fire you have in you, or nobody can be able to remove it from you. For example, if you're, how can I say, if you're building a very good character and you start having a habit, nobody can take it away from you unless you allow them to. But as long as you stand firm on it, nobody can take it away from you. That's the same thing. And also, you have to be able to manage your time. What do I say by manage your time? To manage your time is decide to be decide to have that 1 hour, like 10 minutes every day. 10 minutes. I just need 10 minutes. 10 minutes, I just go on my idea. I'm like, okay, what was I even thinking about? What is the idea about? Okay, I want to be a president. Oh, okay. How can I start it? Oh, I see a lot of presidents went to leadership school. Okay, I cannot afford leadership school. Oh, but I have YouTube. I am on the internet. Okay, I can learn from YouTube one day. Every day, you learn. You just listen to maybe a 10 minutes prep talk on YouTube, and or maybe you start. If you the more you become invested, you start listening to maybe 1 hour, 1 hour training on how to become a good leader, how to work with integrity and all this. That becomes part of your being. I remember I used to listen to Dr. Miles Monroe every day, all day. I always have my headphones. I'm listening to it. A lot of people may say, but what are you doing? Why are you not out with others playing? Because I have that vision in me. Because I've gone through the first step. So the second step is pushing me. It's pushing me. It's become part of me. It's pushing me to be able to go and build myself for the future. And as I said, once you do that, you will cultivate a habit, and you will just see the more you do it, the more it becomes part of you. I can tell you, as I said earlier, I cannot spend one day without working on iCode Expo, because it's part of my being. It is not about the money. It is not about the money. As I said to people, I started most of iCode Expo in my own funds. The register of the company, it is very expensive in the US, but I started in my own funds, like starting buying the Zoom link, the audit. All this is not free. All what you see is not free. If somebody told you that building your vision will be free, the person lied to you. I did not go out and I did not get the vision, and the first thing I did is going out and seek for sponsors. No, I stood in my house, I can say, maybe a place, or maybe start building on your vision. You must have faith in it before other people have faith in it, or else it will not produce or go anywhere. It is very important. You must have faith in that dream. If you want to be a painter, if you want to go and paint, you must first of all start painting in your secret room, not ask for people to finance you to go to painting school. If you don't start painting and your ideas in your secret room, nobody will believe in you unless they see the fruit. So you have to start working towards bearing the fruit. So it's very important. And that's why having those good habits of like investing sometimes every day in it is more than being important. It is very, very important. So to reflect on the journey we learned today from seed to growth, because today we learned two important things. We learned how to have the seed, that's the idea people cannot see, to the time, that's the road of consistency and the habit of growth. That's what we learned today. And we learned that we began by discussing how significant achievement, every impactful project starts with a simple idea. It must start with the idea that's the seed. And the idea is often small, not visible by anybody, because it's in you, exactly as a mango seed, my favorite fruit, exactly as a mango seed. You have to crack in the shell to be able to get the seed. The idea is still in the shell. That's you and seed. And then we went to, and during this process of seed, we talked about the fact that you have to crack the shell and remove the seed. That is you starting to take a step of faith, and you have to go and plant the seed. That's very important. And you have to nurture the seed. And then we talked about later, and after that, we talked about time, the necessary of patience, how patient and consistency, building that habit into building yourself is very important, into trying to be a replicate of a person you love, of a person you admire. And you must know everybody is a human being. Everybody has his own bad and good side. You just take what you like and leave. Don't take what you like and criticize what is bad and criticize it. That will never help you grow, because everybody is a human being. Even your greatest admirer is a human being. So he has his good and his bad sides. So you go and get the good side you like and leave. Don't come and criticize the bad side and forget that you came to get the good side, because it's very important. And we also, as we talked about, though you have the vision, you need the patience and the courage and to be able to accomplish it, which is very important. And we also talked about the rule of habits. You need to build yourself, like create the foundation of success by making your day-to-day input into your project or vision a habit. That is very important. And so for the training of today, we talked about these 2 points. And there are some questions I want you to take away with you today. There are some questions I want you to take away with you, which are very important. And some of the questions, there are 4 questions I want you to ask yourself at the end of this training. If you want to write it down, very good, because at the end of this training, I want us tomorrow to be able to discuss about this point, because I want to help each and everyone after the meeting to be able to discuss about the ideas, like how can I have this idea, how can I bring it up, but you must answer this question first, which are very important. What seed do I have? Very good question. Identify the idea or the project in your life that you believed in, even if it's still at their infancy, even if it's still in the shell, it's still locking inside the shell. You must identify those ideas. That is very important. And the second step, the second question you have to ask yourself is, okay, I've identified the idea, the project. Have I planted them? Have I planted that idea? Have I taken the step of faith towards the idea as we talked about it? Did I organize anything? Not about looking for funds. We are not talking about looking for funds or anything. We are talking about, did I even go and I want to be a public speaker, for example? Did I even speak to my family? It always starts in your surrounding. You want to be a public speaker, gather your family, speak to them. They are your guinea pigs, as we said. We used to call them guinea pigs, like your trying ground. You must have your trying ground. A great extraordinary leader does not just start as an extraordinary leader. You see it in a daily life. You start by, okay, for example, I was a choir leader. Okay, I know in my choir leading, as a leader, I was diligent there. That means in everything I do, I'm diligent. Let it be in my job. They will tell you that this girl is diligent in what she does. That's the thing. That's how it starts. It doesn't start by just being on the stage and preaching. No, it starts by these little things. You ask yourself, have I planted the idea, the seed? Have I planted the seed? The next question you have to ask yourself, am I nurturing the seed? Am I working on it every day? Am I inputting something in it? Am I inputting something in it every day? Because the mindset we want to be able to bring out of the world, out of everyone, is that leadership. Because I will say it again, you are a leader. You just have to unleash your potential. And this is what Agricole Expo is there for. Because we want to, and we brought up a program particularly for that, but we'll go forward. I will go forward and talk about it later. And the next question you have to ask yourself, what does patient mean in my journey? It is very important, because what patient means in your journey is not what patient means in my journey. For example, if I'm going a mango tree, if I'm going a mango tree, it is very important for you to know, if I'm going a mango tree, my patient is different from somebody that is going an avocado tree. Avocado takes longer. And it's different for somebody that's going a banana tree. You have to identify, what is my patient? What does my patient means? Think about how I can embrace it. I can trust the process, because you need it, even though the process is slow. Because like avocados, if you plant avocado, I don't know much about avocado. I really love avocado, but I don't know much about it. But I know that it takes 10 years to bear avocado. That's what I know. So if you plant an avocado tree, that patient, and after it takes 10 years to bear, it starts bearing every year. But that patience, so it start bearing. You have to identify, what am I? Am I a mango tree? Am I a banana tree? Do I want to be great? Do I want to extend my roots? You have to identify what patient means to you, which is very important. So once you ask yourself this question, tomorrow we are going to talk about the 2 others left, the 2 other steps we have left. That is, I'll go deep into that, but that is, let me go back on my PowerPoint. I think this is it. So today we talked about the seed, the time, and tomorrow we are going to talk about the season and the glory, because it is not enough to identify the seed and the time. There is a season and there is a glory that you need to learn how to go about it. And this comes to the end of my training, but before I end the training, I want to present to you ideas we came into place to be able to make you the leader you are already. It's not making you. To be able to bring that leadership out of you. We are not making a leader out of you. You're already a leader. We want to bring it out of you for you to be able to impact your generation, which is very important, because we as youth is up to 65 years. If you're 65 years older, then you're not a youth. But if you're 65 years under, then you're a youth. Then you can still impact your generation. And even I saw people even older than 65 years that are still impacting their generation. So when I say youth, don't limit yourself. Okay, I'm 40. I'm not a youth. No, you're still a youth. And we still going forward to talk about that. So we came up with an idea for Africa. This is we are unveiling Agricode Expo Africa. The future of agriculture starts here. What is the idea behind Agricode Expo Africa? Agricode Expo, first of all, is about enhancing agriculture through ICT. For those that doesn't know what Agricode Expo is, please, you can go to our website, to our link in our website. I will leave the link in the chat box, and I will stay after the meeting for those that want to talk. I see a lot of people that want to talk with me after the meeting. I will stay after the meeting. We can share contact and talk. We came up with a project called Agricode Expo Africa. I am for Africa personally. A lot of people don't know, maybe by the way I speak, I'm Africa. I'm from Cameroon precisely. And Africa has always been my heart cry, always been. It's like I want my people, I want Africa as a whole to be, I have a lot of relatives from all around Africa. But my cry is I want that mindset that we have to change. We are not beggars. In no way are you a beggar. You are not a beggar. You are a mighty leader. But now we need to bring that we need to bring it out of you. And so we came with the project Agricode Expo Africa. But with the main idea, we want to bring the youth back to the farmland, back to our father's first job, first way of doing things, because that is where life is. That's the truth. Life is at the farmland. Because you need to feed the king. The king should not be hungry. That's the truth. If you're able to do that food to be able to feed the king, you are rich. You're richer than the Western people here. So the idea is bringing the youth back to the farmland, and it's a powerful movement that's set to transform the agricultural landscape across Africa, in every African country. This is the main objective we have. And why Agricode Expo Africa? People may ask, like, why did you choose Agricode Expo Africa? It's more than just farming. It is the backbone of our community. We come from farming. Farming is what our father did, and they were so prosperous. And we learn about trade by barter. We want to bring that mindset back to the African culture, to be able to progress and be able to stand as Africans, to be able to stand on our own. And for us to do that, we need leaders like you to stand up and to be able to unleash that leadership potentials that you have in you, and release it, and let others profit from your leadership. And others need to profit from your leadership because you're a leader. Please, you need to release that potential. And Agricode Expo Africa is on a mission to inspire and empower the next generation of agricultural leaders who will cultivate innovation, sustainability, and prosperity for our continent. Very important. We are going back to our farmland, and we are going to take back our continent and be able to cultivate the crop and take back our culture, the culture our fathers had. Because to tell you the truth, that was the purest culture we ever had. Is still from Africa. Africa has a very good and responsible and respectful culture, and we should not let it die because of the external influence, or the Western or Europe influence. I don't say the way they are doing things is bad. I say we will have to keep the way, keep doing we have to go back to the farmland to keep doing the things our father did, because that kept us, that gave us our sanity, and that helped us stay back on our feet, and we need to continue doing that. And so the Agricode Expo Africa, we are actually opening application for Agricode Expo Africa because we want change makers to apply for it. Not if you know that you are a leader, which I already know that you're a leader, but if you do not know, and you don't know that, and you refuse to be a leader, it is okay. I'm not going to force you. But I already know you're a leader. So if you recognize that there is this leadership potential in you, and you want to be able to stand and go and impact your generation from where you come from, if you are from Africa. And the truth is, everyone is from Africa. That is what people, when you read the Bible, if you read the Bible, you tell you every history, even science says history started in Africa. So everybody everybody as a whole is from Africa. So if you want to go and build back your family and be back from your roots, we are happily invite you to connect with us. This email address is not yet operational, by the way. Don't email us at that email address. Is not yet operational. But so if you're interested, you can always find us on WhatsApp. I think I will leave my WhatsApp here. So I'm going to put my WhatsApp in the chat. You can always contact me if you're interested in being a leader, or maybe you have an organization or an NGO and you want to be able to take part to this movement. We are very welcome. It will be a great pleasure for us to welcome you in this AgriCoDexpo Africa. So the next thing we are going to talk about before we close, AgriCoDexpo Africa is in 14 countries now. We are still working on expanding it. And even though it's in these countries, we are still working on expanding it. So don't say my country is there, I don't need to apply. No, you still need to. We need change makers. One person can do the job. The job is for everybody. We need all of you to come together to make this vision a reality. Because if you are a true African and you know you come from Africa, you know that in you there is this heart cry for your country. We want to go back to the farmland. There's this heart cry for the youth to find their roots. Please join us. Also, we came up with a project, and this training is about this project, which is very important. So the project is called AgriCoDexpo School of Purpose. As I said, I know you are a leader. That leadership is hidden in you. AgriCoDexpo School of Purpose is there to transform youth into visionary leaders and leaders into impactful change makers. Because the truth is, we need the youth, we need the change makers to be able to take the step forward. And this is what AgriCoDexpo School of Purpose is coming in place to do. So at AgriCoDexpo School of Purpose, we believe that the smallest beginning holds the potential for extraordinary impact. With the focus on nurturing the next generation of leaders, our program is designed to empower young minds like us, like our young minds, to grow, to lead, and to transform their communities. This is the purpose of AgriCoDexpo School of Purpose, which is the mighty move we are taking right now. You can join us, as I said. You can follow us on LinkedIn. I think I will share the link in the chat. You can follow after the training. I will share the link in the chat. If you can save the chat, that would be nice. You can follow us on LinkedIn, and you will have to. You can, and there you'll be able to have all the updates on what is going on. How can I participate to this move? If you are in a university, or maybe you're a teacher and you want to take part to this move, please contact us, and we'd love to be part of it. And please, if you attended this training, make sure you send your email in the chat box, because we need to use that. Thank you so much for your time. We reached the end of our training, and I'm going to stay after I'm going to stop the recording, but I'm going to stay for any questions. And if you have anything you want us to talk about, I'm going to stay after after I stop the live for the training. So thank you so much. And we come to the end of our training. Do you have questions? I'm open to any questions.
Hi, this is Stacy Shepardson. How are you this afternoon?
I'm fine. And you, Miss Stacy?
Yes, I truly enjoyed your presentation. It is breathtaking and just invigorating. Would love to see, well, a couple of things. Is it possible for you to share your slides, one? And then secondly, I'm a university professor, I'm a lawyer, and I'm a farmer, but
Okay.
I host each year a STEAM conference here in the United States. We have been running around with the idea of possibly doing some type of international collaborations. Our STEAM stands for science, technology, engineering, the environment, agriculture, and mathematics, because you're absolutely correct. Agriculture has been a forgotten science within our community, something that historically we've done so much in. So I guess my question would be, are you open to some type of collaboration within that space?
Yes, as long as
Okay.
it leads to edification of youth, always available for that.
Absolutely. I did leave my information in the chat. I'll put my telephone number in there as well.
Okay.
So we could definitely follow up for engagement for both the youth and, adults, because there's so many avenues out there monetarily that unfortunately we're not tapping into the way we should. And I don't know if it's part just because of the lack of knowledge or awareness or what, but to get persons engaged is just huge. So yeah, I'll put my number in there now.
Thank you. I'll definitely get in contact with you. As long as it talks about the youth and how we can impact them, I'm definitely available, 100%. Thank you, Tacy. Anybody want have a question? I'm very open to any question right now. And definitely, yes, while we are talking, let me share the slide in the chat. Let me share the slides. While we're talking, I will share the slide. But if you have any question, you can pop up and ask your question. I'm available to answer.
Good evening.
Good evening. Who is speaking?
Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible, Mr. Eric.
Okay, thank you so much. First of all, let me take a time to appreciate you for this good and insightful presentation. Actually, we did a lot. We did a lot from you. And I'm very happy to be here in this night. So, firstly, I'm Eric Usengima from Rwanda.
Okay.
I'm India due to the reasons of my studies. So I'm pursuing Master of Business Administration.
Yes.
And specialized in agribusiness management. So I have background in agriculture.
Okay.
Actually, I really like the last statement, just where you said that bringing youth back to the farmland is just a powerful movement that's set to transform the agricultural landscape across Africa. Actually, when you go back, it was just involved by our parents sometime. They didn't have those knowledge. They didn't know those technologies, but as a youth, I can say that we are just a catalyst that can transform our agriculture. So shifting from traditional method to the modern way. So I guess as a youth,
yes, Mr. Eric, we are listening to you. I think Mr. Eric have internet issues. He was called. Anybody has a question or input?
Abdul Kumar from Sierra Leone. Okay, Mr. Eric is still on the line.
Yes.
No, go ahead, please. After you.
Okay. It's Abdul Kumar from Sierra Leone. Susie, thank you so much for your presentation. It was so wonderful.
Thank you. We have part 2 tomorrow, by the way. Sorry to cut you, Mr. Abdul. We have part 2 tomorrow. We have to learn about the 2 last steps, which are very important. Thank you. You can go on.
No problem. The one you did today was so powerful. Very appreciated. Very appreciated.
Thank you.
You have taught us. We have now know the difference between a leader and ordinary leaders. Extraordinary leaders and ordinary leaders. We have known that difference, and we know exactly what C Summit is. As he said, it is a professional training that can lead you to an achievement. It is a long journey, not a day walk. Yes. That was perfect. But the area which I want to come in is about Agrico Expo. Talking about agriculture. I may want to know if Agrico Export is dealing with cereal crops or tree crops, or it can combat everything, whether cereal crops or seed crops, tree crops. The reason I did public health, but I have passion for agriculture. Currently, I'm a farmer. I am the the food poison and food certification officer for Sierra Leone Produce Marketing Company.
Okay.
I'm in charge of the certification area. But we deal with 3 crops, like the cocoa, coffee, more cocoa and coffee. And we all know what cocoa is capable of doing today. And we know what is the problem we are facing as an Africans when we export this cocoa to Europe, the Netherlands, the Switzerland, talk about the UK. When you export cocoa there, there are a lot of things they come up with, whether maybe they will not be in place to pay you off or to pay for the produce you export. So they bring in a lot of difficulties for you, chemical contaminant, residue. So this kind of things we are trying to combat, bring factories to Africa, analyze it, produce the cocoa juice, cocoa liquor, chocolate. These are all thinking whether we be able to combat this. You talk about rice farming, like for Sierra Leone, our staple food is rice. And rice farming, we don't have mechanized farming. It's crew farming. We don't have mechanized farming. Myself, I was able to cultivate about 15 acreages of land this year. But it's, inland value swamp. So I have passion for agriculture. I have also formed my own company that dealing with.
Yes, Mr. Abdul, we're listening to you.
Hello.
Yes, we're listening to you.
Yeah, I am dealing with small ruminant like goats, sheep, local fowl, and ducks. I'm also in the rice production. So I really want to know if Agrico export have any relation to this kind of agriculture, or Agrico is only dealing with cereal crops.
Thank you for the question. I heard you had 2 questions. Is if you are doing with cereal crops and if you are dealing with tree crops. Agrico Expo is a hub for agriculture. I can say that. A hub for agriculture, and agriculture is huge. It's not about just the tree crop, the cereal crop. We have animal farming. We have like a lot. We have like all that beekeeping and all the. So Agrico Expo is like a hub for agriculture. According to your domain, as long as it's dealt to agriculture, that is huge, we are definitely in. And now we are embarking on a 3-month training for this year. And the training is more about edification, because we understood that even though we had a lot of, for example, I saw a lot of example personally that the funding was released for certain projects, but definitely the project did not go far. Then we ask ourselves, what may be the problem? Why is like the money are releasing every year? Every year companies release thousands of money towards a project. Why is it not coming to pass? What happened? And then we talked, and then we understood that the mindset. The first thing you must address is the mindset, because once the mindset is changed, once you already know that leader and you have unplugged that leader out of you, like you've revealed that leader out of you, now when the money comes, it cannot destroy the person. It's just a complement of the spirit. The spirit is at that level, so we just complement it.
Well understood. You ask yourself sometimes why we are lacking. We spend a lot of money, but the project cannot move forward. It's because you only deal with people in the cities. Before this time, you deal with people in the cities. So now you are coming to us, we that are very close to the land, to the natural resource. I believe if you work with us, you will move from that point.
We definitely have to work.
Before this time, you are only deal with people in the cities.
We want the people to the city to come back to the farmland. Like even the people in the city, we need to bring them back to the farmland.
Then you succeed. We are there already. You will meet us.
That's good. That's good. I
Hello.
love you. I love hearing this move that we are going all back to the farmland. And like, it's very, very
Hello.
nice and productive.
I did have
Thank
one other
Mo-
question.
Moses
Yes, Madam
online.
Stacy.
Yes, one other question. In the future, are you planning to host any trade shows to highlight the different farmers? Because again, at the end of the day, you know, it is business. So in order to get some of these companies or these hotels or restaurants, supermarkets, these farmers on the radar, is there a plan to host a trade show, or do you need assistance in that if that's something you would be interested in? I just thought about it as I was listening.
Thank you, Madam Stacy, for bringing it up. This is definitely part of our strategic plan for 2025 to host. We were thinking that after the training, the next step will be to able to host this trade show, because after the training, the farmers are ready to be visible. So we were thinking of that, and we definitely need help towards that. I would love to have your help towards hosting a trade show, because you know it entails bringing this youth company all together to be able to portray the real, like to portray the product of our farmers as a whole, and which is very important. We are here for business still. We still stand on business. Though we want to bring out the mentality and bring the youth back to the leadership position, we still stand in business. We need them to be able to eat and feed themselves and to be able
Exactly.
to, which is very important. Very, very important. I would love to talk with you about that.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Hello.
Yes. Hello, Mr. Moses.
Yes, thank you. I think I have a few questions.
Yes, Mr. Moses.
Yes, yeah, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, perfectly.
Yes, well, thank you so much for your slides presentation. I enjoyed the training so much because there are new things I've learned today which I've never learned before. So I want to say thank you so much for your training. Yes. Straight to the question, please. I want to know the differences between seeking for a knowledge and seeking for an information. Because from your presentation, I wrote down what you said, if I'm not mistaken, seeking for knowledge. How it happened before? You have to, like in your presentation, you say you have to seek somebody who have gone through what you're about to do now, seek the knowledge from them, inquire and ask them through guidance and advice of what you want to do. Yes. So the other one is seeking for an information, meaning you ask for mentors, you ask for guidance, nurturing. So I would like to know the difference between seeking for knowledge and seeking for an information with regards Agri-Code Expo. That is one. Two, I want to know the differences between, as a statement in question, please. You said you have to keep your idea protected, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you have a young idea, when you have a very young idea that will be implemented, you have to protect it. And now, right from the definition, you said, and a C is an idea that people cannot yet see. And now you want to become an extraordinary great leader, extraordinary leader. And now you have this vision, you have this idea. How can you protect this idea wherein we have to share this idea and a vision to others and see how we can implement it? That is that. The last but not the least, yes, it's good to target the young allies, the youths nowadays, because we are more than the eligible people, and so, but today, and youth doesn't want to go into practicals. What I mean, they want to learn the theory, they want to learn it on paper, but they don't want to implement it right in the field. And so we have barrage people who are eligible people who are directly involving into practical in agriculture in villages. Now an Agri Expo is coming up with a school training. How would those who are eligible people, who are old people, benefit from what we are doing now, what we are undergoing now? How would they benefit likewise, since agriculture is our main priority? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Musa. I don't know if I got all your questions, but I got 4 questions down. And the first question you asked is, what is the difference between seeking for knowledge and seeking for information? That's a very good question. When you seek for an information, right? For example, if I want to know how to grow a mango tree, to seek for the information, I can go online and look at the video. I see how to grow a mango tree. But that is seeking for information. But seeking for knowledge is different. When you're seeking for knowledge, what I define as seeking for knowledge is seeking for knowledge while being on the practical field. What do I mean by that? I mean, once I'm on I got the idea and I want to know more about the idea, seeking for knowledge will be me going, for example, to a company to volunteer. That is doing what I'm doing. I want maybe a company to volunteer where I just want to go volunteer there. I am seeking for the knowledge. Why practicing it? There's a different, that's why I say you can seek for the information. You have the information. Then you can seek for the knowledge. That's where you have to get mentors, those doing the domain, like working with them, not just being beside them and asking them questions. No, working with them. By volunteering, there's a lot we learn through volunteering. Volunteering is just so powerful. I volunteer in a lot of NGOs, like everybody. I volunteer a lot of places. I volunteer diligently. And most of the time, I always turn to be the personal assistant of the director on it because I volunteer diligently. When I do something, I do it with all my heart. And that's where I learned certain things. I learned a lot from them. And I can say thank you to them because if I'm what I am today or a little bit, I'm just a glimpse of what I want to be. But if I'm just this glimpse, it's because of those people I volunteered with. I saw in them what I want to be. And so I decided to go towards them and get the knowledge, not by them telling me, by me practicing it while they are there and they correcting me. And I learned from that. That's the first difference. That's the answer I want to take for your first questions. And the second question you talked about is protect your idea. Why do I talk about
the first question I want to add?
Yes,
I
Mr.
want to
Abdul.
add something to the first question.
Okay, go ahead, Mr. Abdul.
You asked about seeking for knowledge and seeking for information. Now, if you want to go into any practical work, for example, you want to plant corn, maize, or you want to go in for IVS, you first look for the information. You ask people around whether the particular IVS you want to cultivate can match to your variety and the season. You seek for that information first, ask their opinion, their knowledge. You calculate everything. It's just like a short survey you are going to do around that. Then seeking for knowledge, after you have gathered all your professional idea needed, then you can now go in for consultancy. You add a consultant very close to you who can plan and execute that project very well for you not to fail. So the information is the baseline information. Is the first step you are going to go in for. The knowledge, you got it from somebody who is a master planner. That is, for example, a consultant. He can draft everything for you not to fail that project. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Abdul. That's another way of asking knowledge, definitely. So definitely that's another way of asking knowledge. Sorry for repeating myself. So the next question you asked, thank you, Mr. Abdul, for your input. That was very profitable.
Welcome.
The next question you asked is, why should I protect my idea if I need other people for my idea? Why? Let me tell you why you must protect your idea. Protect your idea is not hiding your idea in the closet and not telling other people. Protecting your idea is that you will talk to other people. That is very important. You must talk to other people about your idea. But that's how it grows. That's how you edify yourself in growing the idea. But once you talk to other people, the first reflex that comes to you is negative input. I know it. That I can tell you because I know it. You have negative input by people telling you you're thinking too big. What you're thinking is only in your head. You live in a small house that you can barely eat and you're thinking of nations. How can you think of nation in this hole? That's the first reaction you have. If you are not rich, that's the first reaction. Yeah, I don't. If you're a billionaire, yes, then we have another. According to we talk according to our condition. So if you're a billionaire, then we'll have another way of telling you how to protect your idea. But if you are not a billionaire, because even if you're a millionaire, you're not rich. Let me tell you. So if you're a billionaire, then you're rich. If you're a billionaire, you know how to protect your idea. You know, definitely. Once you get the idea, you go register and then you employ people to do it for you, to work the underground for you, to work the mindset and all this for you. While you stay and get the knowledge in your house, other people are working the job for you. That's billionaire. But if you're not a billionaire, protecting your idea is once you put that idea out, I'm telling you, a lot of people will come and tell you, you're dreaming in a pothole. I know, for example, if I take my case an example, but it's not true, but it's an example. Okay, I know Susie. She used to walk barefoot in that quarter, in that street. I used to see her. She doesn't even, it's not my case, I'm taking an example. For example, her mother doesn't even have food to eat. And she's talking about nation. Is that even possible? Some people, even your fathers will call you, say, my daughter, come, let me talk to you. In this life, there's this kind of vision you don't have to have, depending from where you come from. So you start having things like this, like people, like literally, especially if you come from Africa, I know where I come from. They will sit you down, they will tell you. My father is a wealthy man, but it's his domain. He will sit down and tell you, my daughter, I went to nations once. My father is somebody that traveled a lot. He will tell you, I went to nations. It's not something you have to pursue. It's not worth it. I'm like, excuse me? He will tell you that. He will tell you such things like that. And it's the same thing. I want to take this example to portray maybe your surrounding. Most of the time, your surrounding doesn't see what you see. So what I mean by protecting your idea, I don't mean don't talk about your idea. Talk about it until you vex them, until they are angry towards you. You talk about your idea. It's because the more you talk about it, the more it becomes part of you. But protecting it is protecting your idea. Is like protecting the seed that is already the stem that is already visible from drought, from harsh weather, because the weather is harsh and it will come on you. But if you get that idea of like, okay, although I'm talking to Mr. Abdul about my project, right? Mr. Abdul tell me you're only dreaming, that will never happen. I will say, thank you, Mr. Abdul, and go. But my project is still in me. It's not going to die because Mr. Abdul said it will not happen. I don't remember. I can't even tell you how many people told me that iCode Expo was only in my head and it will not even go out of my house. I told them there's no problem. Let me go out and sink. But at least I went out. That's always my idea, is that if I have an idea, I'll let it sink. I've opened a lot of companies because my idea is that if I have an idea, I'll open the company. And if the company fails, it's a lesson. I write it down. I open the next company. I'm not gonna stand on the points because he said, oh, you are failing in so many companies. How would this one be different? I'm like, let me go see for myself. This is this idea you have to put. That's what it means, protecting your idea from the negative impact, the environment in which you are in, because it can impact you a lot. And it's very important to build that gut around you. It's not you should talk about your ideas and even vex the people around you. I'm telling you, talk about it onto people. When they see you, they'll say, is that not that man that is always talking about taking over nations? It's not that Amanda is always talking about that one day you will see my company in a very big story building with my name on it. It's not that man. So when you pass, they even call you by what you're saying. That is very good, because the more you say, the more it comes to pass. You're talking to the atmosphere and it will give back to you what you're saying. But protect it, because the people will laugh at you. They will laugh at you. But the more you protect, the more you keep going. It's the same people that laughed at you before that will come and see you and tell me how you did it. I'm telling you. So protect your idea is very important. That's the point of protecting your idea.
Yeah, the other thing in protecting your idea is very key, because when you discuss it among negative people, they discourage you. That is one. They discourage you not to move. But if it is a business idea, when you expose it too much, then you don't have the capital, you don't have the resource to manage it. People will hijack it from you, from that society. By the time you are trying to mobilize resources for you to push your project in front, They are far gone. So that is the reason why you have an information around more business idea. You need to protect it. Business idea can easily hijack. They can hijack it
Yes.
from you and advance with it because you don't have capital. Then you will be unable to take step.
Thank you, Mr. Abdul, for that
So,
input. That's also another reason why you must protect your idea. But there are certain ideas that they speak through you. You just have to say it to people until they will call you by that name. Like, for example, the name of your company. You must not give the details. For example, the name of your
yes.
company. I talk about Agrico Despo. It's part of me. When you see me, I will say Agrico Despo. You will even ask me, what is Agrico Despo all about? Why is this girl always say Agrico Despo, Agrico Despo? You don't know what Agrico Despo. You just know the name. From the name, you cannot even tell what Agrico Despo is. So you becomes your name. When they see me at Agrico Despo, it's written on me. I'll say it, I will say it again and again and again. It's on my phone. When you unlock my phone, the first thing you see is Agrico Despo. You'll be like, is Agrico Despo your husband? I'm like, yes, it's my husband. Do you have a problem? You know what I mean? It becomes part of you. But at the same time, you're not going to everybody you see, you'll be like, hey, I have an idea. This is what you still have an idea. This is what I want to do, what I want to do. No. You go, like, for example, if you have an idea of being, okay, Mr. Abdul Kuroma Enterprise. Everywhere they go is Mr. Abdul Kuroma Enterprise. You just say, oh, I'm seeing Mr. Abdul Kuroma Enterprise. I'm seeing this big enterprise on the story building of Mr. Abdul. That's what you're talking about. The more you say, the more it comes to pass.
Right now, I have one. That is the way they call me. I have
Yes.
Akroma Agro Business and Protein Resource Center. So the moment they see me, I say Akroma.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. So it becomes part of your identity.
Yes.
The third question you ask, let's just go over it because others have questions. The third question you ask is, youths don't want to go practical. So how can we make the youth go back to the practicals? Because a lot of people, they want to do the story and not go back to the practical. The first thing with youth, you have to know that when we see someone we like, we follow. That's the thing with youth. We see someone we like, it becomes a trend, we follow. So if you teach the youth, if you become that example that they can follow, by being an example, it's not you only at the farm, it's you being prosperous at the farm. That's what we want to be. So you being prosperous at the farm will attract more youth. So what we want to work on, we are actually working on current farmers to be prosperous in their domain so that the youth can be attracted to it. It becomes a trend. If they tell you that the new trend today, for example, people say the new trend today is Bitcoin. If they tell you that the new trend today is farming, you go into it without even thinking because you need the money to survive. And you see people that go into farming prospering from everywhere. So that is what we want to portray. And I'm telling you, once you have profitable, once you have good representative, people will follow. People will follow. And once they come into the system, what we want to do, we want to train them to become their leaders themselves so that they can go out and impact their family. It starts with family. Once you impact your family will impact, your sister will impact her children with that mindset of you're a leader, not with proud, but you're a leader. As a leader, this is what you have to do. This is what and it starts spreading like a pest. It starts spreading till it becomes part of an identity. And when they send African, they'll be like, these African people always say they're leaders. Let it be. So we want to put that mindset out for everyone, whether you're Africa, no matter where you are, to have that identity, and it starts with you and your family. And the next question you ask is it healthy for someone to have, no, you ask for the old people. What about the old people? The old people are always a representation, but there's the way the old people do things that doesn't work nowadays. That's the truth. We need to put it out because if we want to do it the old people way, the youth will never come to it. Never. So we have to be able to bring the new mindset, the new technology, merge with the old way of doing things to be able to be profitable. Because if we do things still by hand, traditional way, the productivity will be very low, very, very low, and we'll only be able to feed our family. So now we have to bring a new not a new, but a revolutionized way of farming to the old way of farming, and together we walk towards upward. We always need the old to know the old ways, because the old people help us know the system. Before we can revolutionize it, you must know the system. So the old people are always relevant wherever we go. but we cannot impact the old people. That's the thing. The old people are old, they made their life and are ready to see their God. Us, we are young, we still have a whole life in front of us. We have to learn from them through wisdom, but apply to it. Learn from them what is useful and apply to our daily life for us to make us successful in our days. So the old people are always useful. We never ever leave them behind. They are our future. They are our future and our past, I can say so. So we never leave the old people behind. There is a question in the chat that I want to address that says, is it healthy for someone to have many ideas to work on? It is more than healthy. It is more than healthy to have many ideas. Like the mango, if you want to have a mango tree, if you want to test how to grow a mango, the advice they will give you is always go and buy 5 or 6 mangoes and take the seed, plant the 6 mangoes, because you never put all your basket or all your eggs in one basket. People used to say, putting all your eggs in one basket. If one is rotten, all is rotten. It's very healthy to have so many ideas, like 5, 6, 7 ideas. One of the ideas will overlook the others always. But if you have only one idea and just focus on it, what if it fails? I'm not saying it will fail, but what if? So having a lot of ideas, once you have an idea, write it down. It's a way forward. Write it down. I always write them down. I have so many ideas. I always write it down. They used to tell me, you are just so small. We don't even see the person. We're just seeing the ideas coming out. I'm like, no problem. There's one day the ideas will meet the personality, but let it be. You know what I mean? So always write it down. Write it down. And if you seek up my office, my wall, I'm not crazy, but you see my wall. I'm not crazy. It's just full of ideas written on my wall. So I always write them down. So it's very healthy to have a lot of ideas. So so we don't have any other. Thank you, because okay. We don't have any other question in the chat. Do anybody has a question before we close? Any question? You can write it in the chat, or you can write it on the chat, or unmute yourself and speak if you have any question.
Yes, I think it's not a question, but just a comment to comment and augment your idea.
Yes.
Yes, I learned from this. You know, you talked of something that people always see the seed, but they don't see the tree out of the seed. It's a very big lesson I've learned in my life today. That means we don't need to see ourselves very local, but we need to see ourselves very national, international, worldwide. Because when you have a seed, you have to think about where next. The seed should not be limited around you, just where you are. But when you have a kind of big vision, when you kind of extended vision, extended mind, so the seed will become bigger, the tree will become bigger and stronger. I think I've learned that today. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for the input too. And tomorrow you will learn more. You will learn how to start an idea without funding tomorrow. Make sure tomorrow you don't miss that, because it's very important. Because we are always searching for funding. You have a little idea, you say, I want a big company, let me go and look for funding. Instead of looking for how to implement the idea, you're looking for the funding and you're getting distracted, and somebody comes and implement the idea before you. So we are going to learn how to work from where we are. Because the thing is, though we are seeing the nation, we need to start from where we are to the nation. So we will learn that tomorrow. Please do not miss the event of tomorrow. If you know somebody that needs this training, please share massively and let them join for the training. I saw somebody was trying to ask a question. Somebody was trying to ask a question before they stopped him. I shared the PowerPoint in the chat. For those that want the PowerPoint, it's in the chat. Yes. I see a lot of comments, and I thank you all for commenting. And I think somebody said he needs funding. Tomorrow we're going to talk about it. The mindset, how important the mindset is, and how we can get over nations. And when they look at you, I will always take the example of Mark Zuckerberg, the one in charge of Facebook. I think is his name. If he tells you how he started Facebook, you're going to laugh at him. Everybody laughed at him. Everybody. He's not started as a billionaire. Everybody laughed at him. So this kind of idea, we are going to tackle it tomorrow and show examples of leaders that really started at that level and how they went forward without funding. First, they put the idea out, and the funding, what people don't know is that funding follow. Funding does not go before it follows.
The idea of the owner of Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg. That guy is so powerful.
But if it started in the garage of his father, you don't know the story. The
Yes.
story is more than what you can imagine. So, and I always tell people, the funding you're looking for has to follow you. You're not the one that has to follow funding. Funding has to follow you. But the only way for funding to follow you, attend the training of tomorrow, you will know. And any other questions? I see people from South Africa happy for joy. I see people from all around the world. Thank you for joining. And definitely we should keep in contact because it's not a one-person job. This is a revolution and it needs to be worldwide. It's not a Susie vision, not at all. It's the people's vision. And I, Susie, am here to serve the people. And if you have an idea we can implement for ICO this, as long as it's fruitful, I am for it. I am for it.
Yeah,
Any question?
Yeah, I think it's just a concern of the membership of Agri Expo Code. So because today I didn't see many people turn up. I don't know whether because they were not informed or in one way or the other, but it should have been an added value to the membership and the leadership to have attended this particular training. That's just a concern. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Moses, for bringing it up. We really, Agricole Expo is really a huge community of more than 3,000 people. The fact that not everybody showed up or people did not show up during the training, I think those that really wanted the training showed up, and we are going to move with those that are willing to work forward. The truth is you cannot beg people to unleash their leadership potential. This training is available on YouTube. Those that want to follow later were very welcome to follow later. But this question and answer session are more profitable even than the training. That's what people don't know. Because in this question and answer session, we are learning more. We are going more into certain depth from different perspectives, not only from what Susie see. Because what I see is according to where I am standing. I can only see according to where I'm standing. So where I'm standing, this is what I see. But maybe for what Madam Tracy can see, she can see according to where she's standing. And the world is round. I cannot see the whole world by my own eyes. Madam Stacy can see a point, Mr. Abdul can see a point, and we are all learning round. Mr. Moses can see a point, and we are just all learning from each other. So this question and answer section, I'm not registering it because if you're not attending, you're missing this. You're not going to learn from this part. But the training is available online, and other people that couldn't join maybe because of time zone, the people always have a reason. And tomorrow you will learn that you always have a reason to fail. Tomorrow, don't miss tomorrow. There's always a reason to fail. But when you want to fail, you're always somebody with reasons. But don't forget tomorrow to learn how to go away from it. But yes, Mr. Moses. So I shared the link, and those that could join, I'm very happy they did. They gained a lot. And tomorrow we're going to continue. Hopefully tomorrow more people join for this question and answer session, which is the best of all. Any other?
Okay, so good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yes, Madam Halima.
Halima here. So
Yeah,
a very quick
sorry.
one. I want to ask that, is there a platform that maybe like a WhatsApp platform or so whereby information can, subsequently be passed on to the people that you've actually onboarded into this, 2 days workshop? Is there anything like that?
There is. Thank you for bringing up. I completely forgot. Let me just share the WhatsApp platform here with you guys. I completely forgot about that too. Yes, there is a platform where you can have all the informations. Let me share it with you. 1 second. Thank you for bringing it up. Get it. Any other question while I'm trying to get the WhatsApp link? I have some question in the chat too. Somebody saying, would there be a community built from this webinar to collaborate and explore synergy? Yes, we already have a community on WhatsApp, which I'm going to share with you. And my number is in the community group, and you can always reach out to me if you want us to talk, or maybe if you want to bring the move back in your country, we can always reach out to me and we can always talk about it. And we can always reach out to the staff as a whole. I will.
Okay, sorry. So sorry for cutting you short. Another thing that I would really appreciate, I think some people are asking for the YouTube link. Maybe everything should just be posted once and for all. Do you get?
Yes. It's just that we sometimes, you forget certain things when you're planning.
Yeah, it's understandable, ma.
Thank you. I think I got the link. I can share it now.
Okay.
Yes.
Good evening again.
Good evening.
Okay, I have a question. I would like to ask you, what do you plan to do just to manage your members? Because me, I'm in 2 WhatsApp groups, but some of them they just not know their responsibilities as a member. Just an overview of this AgriCode Expo Africa. So what do you plan to do? Just every member be aware of what you are doing. And also I would like to know how a member will benefit from this organization. Thank you.
And thank you, Mr. Eric, for that question. He asked to know if I could share all the information to the members so that they can take part of the vision. Definitely. That is why we have this training. The training is, first of all, we don't want to throw the leaders in, not the leaders, the members into something without edifying them. So the training, first of all, is that purpose of edification, because we need to edify them to be able to carry the vision. And once they're edified, we are working on having a clear description of what is the role of each and everyone if you want to embark on this journey with us. So once that clear definition is written down and we can be able to share it with the community, we will definitely share it with the community. And I think he brought up the fact that some leaders, or maybe I did not get it well, how can I did not. Did you have a second question, Mr. Eric? I'm sorry, I didn't get it.
Yes, I have a question.
Yes, Mr. Eric.
Hello?
Yes, Mr. Eric. Is it Mr. Eric? Sorry, Mr. Idrisu. Okay, you can go ahead.
Hello?
Yes, Mr.
Yes,
Idrisu.
yeah, thank you very much. Yes, thank you very much for giving me opportunity. Yes, yes. In fact, thank you very much for your good for the great presentation. We have learned a lot.
Thank
in fact, I want to appeal to the authority of the Agri-Expo that after training, I don't know whether there will be something like a funding whereby we can also go to community and impact the knowledge of the community member, the importance of afforestation. So that if we learn with that implementing or that also transfer the knowledge there, those who could not get opportunity to attend the workshop to look like the people could not, a large number of people didn't benefit from your knowledge. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Abdul, for the question. I'll come back with you. 1 second.
Hello?
Yes, I'll come back with you.
Hello?
1 second, Mr. Just give us 1 second. I'm getting you, Mr. Abdul. Just give us 1 second. We'll get back to you.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I go ahead?
Yes. Yes, Mr. Abdul, you can go ahead.
I was saying that. Okay, I was saying that we have learned a lot today, and I'm appealing to the authority of the Agri School that they should try and give us funding so that we can also go to some community and also impact the knowledge to them, so that they will get to know the importance of afforestation, or how to grow trees, or how to grow trees. Thank you very much for giving me opportunity.
Thank you, Mr. Abdul, for that question. Actually, we are on the, as I said earlier, we are on a 3 months training, and on that training you will learn a lot. This is just day one that was on leadership, because we want to be able to open the mindset before you get into the training. In the training, there are different domains that is available to learn on, and our leaders and the domain will be given by various leaders. So you will have other domain that will be trained us during this 3-month training. It is not only on leadership. Leadership was the first. This is just the first training. The next training is how to apply mathematics into your business mind. Then we have so many other training coming up, and I think I have a list of it that I will share, and we'll go from there. Thank you.
Thank you very much.